Good morning, students. Uh, Today we will start with a new sum of insurance claim. First of all, I like to wish you a very happy New Year 2021. Hope this year will bring certain positive thinking and hope we will be meeting soon in a physical class like we used to have it before March 2020. So, I'm starting with my next sum, which has been already provided in your PDF. Sum number 5 in my book. I'm going to it and we will be doing the sum. And it's more or less the same sum like what we used to do in the previous sum. It's just a brush up. So, the godown of Purple Limited caught fire on 31st March 2015. As a result, goods in the godown of the company were gutted. Goods has been destroyed. Gutted means destroyed. Goods worth rupees 41,360 could however be saved from the accident. Means 41,360 has been your salvage value which has been saved however from the accident. The following particulars are supplied to you. Opening stock has been provided. Stock on 1/1/15 60,000. Purchase to the date of fire has been also provided to 2,60,000. Carriage paid on purchases means the carriage, freight, etc. which you have paid while purchasing the product, and sales to the date of fire has also been given 1,80,000. Commission paid to the purchase manager 2% on purchase. Commission has been paid on the purchase price to the manager. Average gross profit on sales 33 1/3%. 33 1/3% means basically 1/3 on sales, and if it has to be considered on cost means half on cost. You know that half on cost means 1/3 on sales. 1/3 on sales means half on cost. 1/3 on cost means 1/4 on sales, like that. Okay. The company had a fire policy of rupees 1,60,000 covering its stock of goods in the godown. They have been insured their product of 1,60,000 covering the goods in the godown. The policy subject to the average clause. Average clause, you are required to ascertain the total loss of stock and the amount of insurance claim to be made. Amount of insurance claim, what is to be made, you have to ascertain that. First of all, you have to prepare a memorandum trading account from 1st of January 2015 to 31st of March 2015, because the fire has been caught on 31st of March 2015. So during that period, means from January to March, that period we have already mentioned that it is the term of memorandum, because we are not closing the books but we have to close it due to certain accident, and so we regarded that before closing of the any financial account, any books, we are regarding as a memorandum account. So we will start off doing that memorandum trading account. Okay, first of all, this is sum number 5. So memorandum trading account for the period one 15 to 31st March 15, because the fire has been caught on 31st March and the opening stock has been given 1/1/15. So we can easily estimate that the book starts from 1st of January and suddenly it has to be ending due to the fire. Okay, debit and credit, you know that, I hope. Particulars, I write in short, I have already been explained. Amount rupees column and particulars amount rupees column. Okay. Opening stock has been provided to opening stock. How much? 60,000. Purchase has been given to the date of fire to purchases, which is 2,60,000. Carriage paid on purchase, 2 carriage on purchase, or 2 carriage, whatever you can write. You can write also carriage on purchase. 1,600 purchases. Okay. Here also okay. Commission has been paid on purchase manager, 2% on purchase, 2 commission on purchase. How much? 2% of rupees 2,60,000. It's 5,200. Okay. Sales has been given by sales, which is 1,80,000, and there is no closing stock. Also, gross profit has been mentioned, which is calculated 33 1/3% on sales, means 1/3 on sales. 33 1/3 means 1/3 on sales to gross profit. So you can calculate gross profit as the rate of GP, or gross profit has been given, rate of gross profit has been given, which is 33 1/3%. So we can calculate the gross profit. How much? On sales, which is 1,80,000 into 1/3. Okay. Okay, which is 60,000. 33 1/3 means 1/3. 60,000. Now you calculate this. 800, 5, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 18, and 3 lakh. 3,86,800. Okay, and you can calculate closing stock as the balancing figure. The balancing figure will be the closing stock, which is 2,06,800. Okay. I hope this is clear. This is clear. So we can now move on to statement showing the loss of stock on the date of fire. So statement showing the loss of stock on the day of fire. It's just a statement. So value of stock on the date of fire has been given, which is the closing stock. You can write that value of stock on the date of fire, which has been provided, which is 2,06,800. Right? Now what we have to do? We have to deduct if there is any salvage value or not. As we can see, as we can go through the sum, we see that there has been a salvage value. The salvage value cost is rupees 41,360, because it has been saved from the accident, and rest of the part has been already damaged. So salvage value has been provided. Salvage value is provided. So we deduct the salvage value, value of stock salvaged, which has been given as 41,360. 41,360. If you deduct that, you will be getting 1,65,440, which is basically gross claim, which is basically the gross claim. So when you calculate the gross claim or actual loss of stock, you can also write actual loss of stock. So when you have calculated the gross claim as 1,65,000, here it has been mentioned that the policy is subject to average clause, means average clause has been applicable over here. How you can calculate? You see that the insurable value, or what we call as the value of stock on the date of fire, which is 2,06,800, and the policy has been valued of fire insurance, which is 1,60,000. You see, in this case, policy value is less than the insurable value, or what we call as the value of stock on the date of fire. If the policy value is less than the insurable value, we know that average clause is applicable. Here in this case also, the policy value, which is 1,60,000, is lesser than the insurable value, which is the closing stock or the value of stock on the date of fire, which is 2,06,800. That means there is an under insurance. It is not over insurance, under insurance. So obviously average clause is applicable over here. So when average clause is applicable, we can easily calculate the net claim with the help of a formula. You know that. So first of all, I will write that here insurable value is equal to rupees 2,06,800, which is the value of stock on the date of fire, is, and policy value is equal to, which has been given in the sum, 1,60,000, as policy value is lesser than is lesser than insurable value, comma, average clause is applicable. Average clause is applicable. When average clause is applicable, you know that we have to calculate the net claim. Therefore, net claim is equal to gross claim or actual loss of stock. You can write gross claim or actual, or we should write it, or it will be better for you, or actual loss of stock multiplied by policy value divided by insurable value. So what is the formula of net claim? We all know gross claim or actual loss of stock multiplied by policy value divided by insurable value. So we calculate the gross claim as rupees 1,65,440 from the above statement into policy value has been given in the sum, which is 1,60,000, and the insurable value you can estimate it as the value of stock on the date of fire or the closing stock here, which is 2,06,800. The answer will be 1,28,000. which is your net claim. So you see, the gross claim obviously will be the higher portion, the greater portion, and the net claim you need to calculate if and only if policy value has been mentioned. If the sum remains silent regarding policy value, you don't need to calculate the net claim. The gross claim will be the net claim in that case. Otherwise, you need to calculate the net claim if policy value is mentioned in the sum. Then you have to verify whether average clause is applicable or not. You see, if the policy value is greater than the insurable value, in that case average clause will not be applicable because it will be over insurance, and in that case average clause will not be considered. The gross claim will be considered as the net claim in that case also. But if average clause means the policy value remains lesser than the insurable value, then it's an under insurance and average clause will be applicable in that case, and in that case you need to calculate the net claim, which is the gross claim or the actual loss of stock multiplied by policy value divided by insurable value. Here in this case we have done just exactly what we request to do. I hope you will go through the sum before understanding. At first please understand the sum, then you see the solution whatever I have done in this sum. I hope you will understand. If you have any queries, drop down over here. Thank you for patient hearing of my class. Have a nice day ahead.